Hello everyone, that manga kid here to give a review of a 5-volume manhwa series called Angel Cup. It's by Jae-ho Youn and it's an old Tokyopop title. I found this really cheap, like $2 a volume at Goodwill less than a year ago, and I had never heard of it. Figured I'd pick it up because why not? And I read it all in one sitting yesterday and really enjoyed it. And I wasn't expecting to enjoy it that much, to be completely honest. It sat on my shelf for a while. I didn't even think about it, and then decided to pick it up yesterday and read through the whole thing. As you can probably guess, it's about women's soccer. It is set in Korean high school. Our main character here, I believe her name is Sojin. She is a first year in high school. Basically, we follow her as she goes into high school, having quit soccer. She had this rival in middle school. She lost to every tournament to this particular girl and her team. And so she went, well, I'm clearly not good at this sport, so why am I still doing it? I could never beat my rival. There's no point. So she quits. And then she kind of gets sucked back into the world of women's soccer. Through a series of events, she puts together a team, and a bunch of these girls who are all athletic in different ways but don't seem to be particularly passionate about soccer specifically. They all, join together and want to play. There's also a separate part of the story where a very wealthy man is on his deathbed, and basically they're waiting any day for him to just die. He's unconscious in the hospital. And his family is angry because he has left half of his fortune dedicated to donating to establishing women's soccer in Korea. And they're obviously like, well, we want the money. We're his family. So they're trying to figure out why he would give so much money towards a sport that's really not popular. Men's soccer's popular, but women's soccer really isn't much of a thing in Korea in this story at the time. And so you're kind of figuring out the backstory, the mystery behind how some of these kids, these young women, are involved with this man who is donating all this money to establish this sport. And yeah, it's kind of convoluted, and it's really not as interesting as just watching these girls play soccer, to be completely honest. But it's there, and it's whatever. But the real charm in this series is these teenage girls playing soccer. It's so funny. It's entertaining. The action is great. The only thing I will say is that I don't know if it's just the translation, but I'm assuming it's probably part of the original story as well. There's a lot of misogyny in this because it is written by a man, and it's about, there's a very well-established boys soccer team at the high school they're at, and the boys are like, women's soccer. Why would anybody watch women's soccer? And the boys are kind of assholes. Thankfully, these girls are really hard-headed and strong, and they don't care. So that's nice, but it is really annoying, just the blatant, the word slut is thrown around so often. It's just so much, oh, but you're girls kind of thing, and it's really annoying. But if you overlook that annoying aspect of it and just focus on these girls playing soccer, it's enjoyable. There is a bit of fan service, but to be honest, I found it quite equally fan service between the attractive girl characters and their boobs and the attractive male soccer players and their abs. So even though, yes, there is fan service, I feel like it does give some male fan service at the same sort of level, so it really didn't bother me as much anyway. But yeah, so that's something to consider. But I overlooked that aspect of the story and just really enjoyed this for the sports aspect of it. I don't know much about soccer, to be completely honest. I don't watch real sports at all, but I found this to be very enjoyable. It did give descriptions of, certain plays and rules and things like that, but not in an overbearing way. Sometimes I find that, if you, like, I find that sometimes manga and comics or whatever in general, when it's about a very particular topic, sometimes it can go a little overboard in explaining things, whereas this I found was very simple and really, kept it bare bones of like, okay, they mentioned this particular play or rule. Here's a one sentence about basically what this is talking about, just so you have enough context to really understand, but you don't have to read 5 paragraphs about soccer when you really don't care about soccer and you're mostly just watching these teenagers play soccer. It's very... I'm just trying to find... There are some very, very funny faces in this, and I find it... I was laughing so hard. I'm just looking for... I'll show you some art while I'm flipping through this anyway, but the characters are interesting. It's quite busy, but I like it. It's not plain backgrounds and whatnot. I enjoy that for sure. But yeah, I can't find the faces that I was thinking about. Oh, this is not one of the better ones, but things like that, it'll cut to some really intense faces, but as you can see in the action scenes, it looks really nice. I really enjoy the art in this. This is one, again, not one of the funnier ones, but it's just a really intense, but our main character, there are a few panels where her face is just absolutely hysterically funny, because it'll just cut to these really intense, close-up, weirdly detailed faces. For what it is, I'll read this again. I really, really enjoyed it, and I was not expecting to at all. If you like sports manga, I would check this one out. It's a lot of fun for what it is. The first couple volumes focus on a game between the girls' team and the boys' team, and then the last couple volumes focus on a match between another girls' team from a rival high school. But yeah, so you really only get 2 games in this, and that's where the charm really comes in. I enjoy the soccer games more than any of the time in between the games, because 5 volumes isn't enough to establish such a large group of characters, and the side story about this rich man donating this money I really didn't care much about. If it was a longer series that they could draw it out more and really, flesh out this story, then yes, I think it would have been better. But the charm really comes from just these girls playing soccer and looking at the cool action scenes and all that kind of stuff, and the faces and the art as well. But yeah, if you've never checked out Angel Cup and you happen to come across it for a decent price, I do suggest reading it if you like sports manga, because I quite enjoyed it. If you have any other sports series that you've read that you like, please recommend them to me, because I've been kind of dabbling more in the sports genre lately, and I'm quite enjoying it. So do let me know if there's anything you recommend. Thanks for watching.